first of all, I just wanted to kick off by saying thanks for everyone for joining today, and just coming to learn a bit more about what Worldreader are doing and why their Around the World Challenge to support Worldreader is really impactful for India. A bit of background on us. So Serpico by Crowd, we've been a Salesforce consulting partner since the start of the year, and our technology arm has been using some of the cool Salesforce tech to pull together the collective efforts of a remote team and workers to help sort of raise some money for this project. And we're obviously very delighted to be partnering with Salesforce and some of the key partners in the Salesforce network. For other challenges have been some, and I'll pass over to Kate very shortly to talk through other things like climbing Kilimanjaro, but obviously with the COVID restrictions, we had to do something a little bit different this year. The background to the challenge, for those that aren't fully up to speed, is bringing together people from Serpico, Salesforce, the partner ecosystem, with a collective mission to try and travel 24,000 miles around the world, just to reflect the global nature of our business, of technology, of what we're all doing. And so far, we've done pretty well. We've got 17,000 miles in. We have a few days left, although we will probably extend it to try and hit the final targets. And so far, thanks to everyone that's been involved and contributed to this, we've raised over £15,000. So with only a few days left, this is a final. We'll show you what all the valuable input, effort, time, and cash is going towards. So with that, I will pass you over to Kate, who's going to give you a bit more detail about the challenge and the previous efforts we've been involved in. So over to you, Kate. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Hello, everybody. My name is Kate Russo. I'm based out of London. I'm a senior partner manager at Salesforce. Just before I share a little bit about our past efforts, I wanted to thank you all for joining the call today, but also thank you for supporting this incredible charity. And I know firsthand that the impact is going to be absolutely amazing. So just to give a little bit of context, back in 2019, in a pre-COVID world, we did our first challenge for Worldreader. We decided to climb the Yorkshire Free Peak Challenge. Obviously in Yorkshire, it was incredibly difficult. A lovely sunny day though. I think everybody had loads of fun across the Salesforce ecosystem. Loads and loads of different companies and individuals joined us, and that was very kindly sponsored by Financial Force. Then in the August, alongside some of my peers at Salesforce, including Simon Capel, who's also on the call today, we attempted to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, which was an incredible experience. I had my birthday over there as well, and just walking through the rain clouds, but also knowing that the effort of our fundraising efforts was going to go back to supporting, individuals all over the world, but for this specific challenge over in Africa, really made it. So again, to be part of this second challenge supported by such an incredible ecosystem, whether that be pelotoning this morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, or trying to do a personal best on the bike, or just walking, getting out there and enjoying the newly found UK sunshine, we really thank you for your efforts. I'm now going to pass you over to the co-founder, Colin, to share a little bit more about the adventure. Thank you, Colin.
Thanks, Kate. Yeah, my name is Colin McElwee. I'm one of the co-founders of Worldreader. I just say this kind of like started just remembering when Simon, you wandered into our offices in Barcelona and said those immortal words like, "How can we help?" And we had a list of ideas. I think we didn't expect the Yorkshire Dales and Kilimanjaro to enter into those, but it's been amazing. So I just say one enormous thanks to Simon and to Kate and all of the Salesforce team that have contributed so much in such a creative way. I'd also like to recognize here the crowd team, Ben and Carly. Wow, it's super sophisticated on the outside. I know there's been lots of cogs going behind to make this look as seamless as possible, but it's enormously impressive tech meets social good effort. So enormous thanks to those two organizations and all of the organizations on this call that have contributed to this. As we said, there's 15,000, I think, raised so far, 17,000 miles achieved. And that's enormous. That's enormous. So big thanks. I'll just leave you to one thing, and Pradeep's going to take us through what we do. There's many reasons to think reading is important, whether it's social emotional learning or it's critical thinking or just education. The one thing that always got me from day one of Worldreader is that a literate mother is more than, well, a child born to a literate mother is more than 50% more likely to survive past 5 years old than a child born to an illiterate mother has a deep, deep, deep effect on people's lives. Enormous thanks for your contribution and what you're doing today. It's really precious, these groups. Pradeep, I'm passing to you to tell us a little bit more.
Right. Thanks, Colin, and hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pradeep. I'm the Associate Director, Program and Partnerships based in New Delhi, India. So I'll be using a couple of slides to talk about Worldreader as an organization, our role in the larger ecosystem, and specifically the work that we are doing here in India. So let me share my screen. Let me know if you can see the screen.
Yes, thank you, Pradeep.
Yeah, thanks, Ruth. Right. So let me start with the vision and mission of the organization. So Worldreader is a digital reading champion. And we believe, as Colin just said, in the power of reading. And we believe that readers build a better world. And that's why we want to ensure that each and every child, adult, young person, everybody should have access to books. So whether it's a print book or a digital book, and we realize that there are some challenges related to physical books. So that's why we devoted ourselves to the digital books way, because we found that, okay, it would be more accessible for people to have access books through the devices which is available with them. The mission that we have is working with partners globally. And the focus is very clear that we have to support the vulnerable and underserved communities. We have to support them through digital reading solutions. And the larger aim is to improve the learning outcomes, workforce readiness, and gender equity. And that's how all the collections that we have of books, so they are expert curated as per the geographies. And these are the various geographies where we work. We have already crossed around 18 million readers all over the world. And if you can see the map, like largely we are focusing on the global south. Of course, we just started our work in US as well. But in last 10 years, the focus has been on the global south countries. So we are present in 47 countries and 52 languages. The key thing here is we not only work with non-profits in all these geographies, we also work with publishers. So in a way, it's like we can say that we work with the demand side, as well as we work where the demand has to be met. So both the NGOs they need, and publishers also, where the material will come to them. With them also we work, and we also enable them to digitize their books. So that has been the kind of work with more than 500 plus NGOs and 400 plus publishers across all these regions we have been doing. The key here is this ABCD approach that we follow. And A is for access. And access we ensure by making our app compatible with all internet connected phones. So whether it's iPhone, the entire range of Android, or if you have a very basic feature phone, which in India is a Geo phone using the KaiOS technology, so KaiOS platform. So those in all those phones, in all those devices, these books are accessible. The app is very light, and that's how we have kept in mind the data costs also. So access should not be an issue for millions of people. The second comes for books, and we ensure that we have the right and the most relevant content in all these geographies. So the collection has been designed as per various geographies. So if I'm in India, I have a specific collection of books. If I access Booksmart, the main platform from Kenya or some other countries, so the book collection is as per that geography. Of course, most of the books are from that region, but we also have a mix of some other good stories, good books from other region as well. So that's how we ensure that we have the relevant books for all ages. The third is again very important. In addition to access in books, a continuous engagement is very significant. And we ensure that by providing various activities to children and parents. And all these activities are linked with the books that the children are reading at that time. These activities are related to socio-emotional learning. They are related to playway methods. So each book so before and after reading the book, there are some pre and post kind of activities. The engagement is also ensured through reading tips, through various in-app notifications. So all that is ensured that there is a pedagogical layer in addition to books. And the last is the data. We ensure that we have the right kind of data. So all the books which are read globally, we can monitor using our Worldreader insights. So with those data insights, we can offer useful metrics in terms of time spent reading, in terms of reading frequency, in terms of number of readers. So all those things, when we share back with our partner NGOs and with publishers as well, they find it very, very useful. Sorry, I had to spend a couple of minutes here, but I think this was significant. So this is the main platform, the app that we are using, which is called BookSmart. And here you see that the picture is here of an Android phone and also a Geo phone, which is using the iOS operating system. And the user experience in both these phones are very seamless. When we use, and you can also see that we have the program name here, the partner whom we are working with, and also the books are appearing in a very systematic manner. So in this BookSmart, we have, as I shared in the previous slide, we have the age-appropriate book collections. All the books are also available for offline reading, and that is another feature of which makes it attractive, because at times children want to read one book repeatedly. So there is no point to download that book again and again. You can download it, you can keep it as per the space available in your mobile phone for offline reading. The third is the family friendly design. So the moment you open the app, there are no distractions, there are no advertisements, there are no unnecessary buttons. It's just the book, and the entire phone screen converts into a book page, and you can easily flip through the books. So while reading, we don't like distractions. And those feedbacks we have got from the community when we started the program in India. And it was like 15,000 houses we implemented it, and with those feedback we got from India, from other countries, and accordingly those feedbacks were incorporated in designing the app. The speed optimization, making the app very light. Also, when you download the book, the entire book is not downloaded. It's like the books are screened. So the page that you are reading, only that page and the next page is screened, and all the other pages remain in the back. So once you reach there, only then you are supposed to use the data. If you don't like, if you stop there and you want to read it later, then you save data there. So it's those kind of features are inbuilt in this. Now, in India, there are 2-3 major surveys which shows that 57% of grade 3, which is around 8 years of children, they can't read grade 1 level text. So 8-year-old cannot read the books which are for age 5-year-olds. And this is a national reading crisis. And reading particularly has a special role to address this. And that's why we are enabling early readers at homes, preschools, and primary schools with BookSmart platform. These are the various kinds of programs which we are doing. Read to Kids, we are doing with government schools, which is public schools and daycare centers. The NREAD program we are doing with the affordable private schools. Keep Children Reading was started as a global campaign in response to COVID. And the Geo intervention. In August last year, we started with Geophone. Without any promotion, we have around 650,000, more than 500,000 readers, and they are increasing on a daily basis. In India map, you can see these are the 7 states where we are largely focused. We might have readers in other states as well, but these are the focus states right now. We are gradually increasing 1 or 2 states each year. And this is the entire kit of the program with which we go to a government school. And I think the money which is being raised will be used for this kind of the program. We have a tablet, and this tablet is used and this is just one tablet that we provide to one school. This is for the teacher, not for students. This is a preloaded tablet. We preload around 600 storybooks into it for offline reading. You don't need internet. This tablet can be connected to a low-cost projector easily, or a projector available already in the school. We also give home licenses to parents of the same stories, so they can also read the story which is being read in the school during that week. And why the parents, how do the parents know which story is being read? For that, we have certain worksheets which go from school to home, home to school. And that's how the parents are also aware, okay, that this week's story is this. We also have some other material which are accompanied as part of the academic pedagogic layer. To go beyond stories, once the storytelling is done, we have various activities, and for that there is a magic box which has puppets, which has masks, and all these are developed keeping in mind the characters which repeatedly come in various stories. So once the storytelling is over, then children, parents, and teachers, they do a role play on those stories, and they also do the worksheets of those stories. There is a reading calendar to ensure that there is a uniformity in the program. We know which story is going on in which week. Of course, if there is a special day, there is a festival, there is an, like just this week we had the World Environment Day on June 5. So we use separate or specific books also in those occasions. It is as per the teacher, they can use any book. COVID, we all know, was a great challenge, and that's where the innovation also came. And we used COVID school closures as an innovation opportunity. And in India, WhatsApp is in a big way is a medium through which the learning is continuing at home. So we have WhatsApp audio messages in English, in Hindi. We have the book creatives, and we have a book, a small description of the book, like a pitch, so that parents also feel motivated. So these things are shared to teachers in their WhatsApp groups, and from teachers, this is going to some programs on a daily basis and to some programs on a weekly basis to parents at home. And we know through our data that they are reading on a daily basis. Thousands of children and parents are reading at home. These are enablers. These motivates them to come to the app and read and finish that book. And this is the evidences that we get back from parents, because we also request them, motivate them that once the story is done, if you can share with us what the children are doing. If they write something, if they draw something, if they create something, please share those pictures also back with us. So these are various stories which were shared in last 1 year, and parents shared these images back with us. Of course, this was pre-COVID when we had the traditional face-to-face training. This is one of our NGO partners, Barefoot College in Rajasthan. Barefoot again is a global name because they have been enabling large rural communities for education, for solar energy and various other livelihood methods. So in their training hall, the training is continuing. This is one training in affordable private school. The school leaders are also involved so that they are also aware, and they promote teachers for reading. So all these are various sessions where we talk about Worldreader, our mission. So here our executive member Bhanu is also leading one session talking about Worldreader and our vision. We have shifted to online remote training with all these programs. So the learning, the training, capacity building is not stopped. Of course, the face-to-face, the travel, because of the first and second wave, there were restrictions, but we continued through WhatsApp and through Zoom. All the trainings and capacity building are continuing. Just want to share the story of Sapna. She is an Anganwadi, a daycare center teacher in Delhi slums. And before the program started, she was quite hesitant in using the tablet. And now she feels that because of the tablet, the enrollment has also increased in the center. And she also found that she's in a very meaningful way is able to make children learn in the daycare center. So, and she is now very happy that her technical skills are also enhanced. And that's why when she goes to her meetings in the department, Women and Child Development Department, she also very gladly shares her experiences of digital transformation of her daycare center. So thank you so much. And may I invite Colin again to say thank you on behalf of Worldreader. And if there are any questions, we would be very happy to take those questions. Thank you so much.
Yeah, straight to questions, guys. Yeah.
Thank you, Pradeep. I think you've blown everybody away with all of that information. I know there's a lot to take on board there, but hopefully for everybody taking part in the challenge, that's really given you an insight into the work that we do in India specifically and the absolute difference that you've all helped to make. So if there are any questions that anybody would like to ask while we have Colin and Pradeep and Banu.
There's a question, Ruth, in the text box, in the chat box.
Excellent.
Banu here. So let me just step in and answering this question. It's about, so the future as we see it in India is actually hybrid learning. As we see, we have not yet been able to vaccinate anywhere near about 40% of our population, which basically means the young ones will continue to be remote learning and the schools will not open at least for the next 5 to 6 months foreseeable features. So the next academic year is going to be pretty much hybrid learning. Initially, we'll start off remote through WhatsApp, YouTube, any other digital mechanism which is available. And then as the year progresses and the vaccination situation improves, the schools would then open. So the future really in the next academic year is hybrid. But one important thing to keep in mind is that as a part of the Digital India mission, there are a lot of work which is happening in terms of preparing, even after the next academic year, how the education system and various other systems should be ready for a hybrid scenario. And that is where we as Worldreader come very much into the center place in the government's agenda of how we could equip various education departments in terms of making sure that they're able to have a bouquet or a portfolio of digital services which they could tap on whenever the schools have to go back into lockdown, or in the future hybrid, where parental involvement is going to become central to the learning process, particularly of the young ones.
Well, I don't think we've had any more. Oh,
I've got one more question, actually, if you don't mind, Ben.
Yeah,
it's a slightly loaded question, but if anyone would like to make an additional donation or contribution, it would be really appreciated because we are a little bit short of our target. So if anyone would like to, dig deep, I'm sure everyone on this call will be really grateful. So look, thank you very much, everybody, for today. That was a great presentation. Thank you.
I'm just going to say, Simon, there's one final question come in, which is, how do you create what content gets added?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. And it is also a difficult question. And that is something we, our content team, in partnership with our education team, constantly grapples with on a day-to-day basis. So what we typically do is we look at the reading levels where our audience are, particularly at the bottom of the pyramid and the under-resourced and under-served communities. And from there on, we basically work with local NGOs and local education experts from the government departments and the teacher training department and other such places, who are the people who work with us in sort of a panel or a committee kind of a model where we look at a set of publishers who are in the market, what kind of books they have, and then we kind of curate books which meet the needs or the reading levels and the learning outcomes of the target audience. Now, this is quite an elaborate activity because we have to match between the national curriculum framework, which defines at age levels what the learning outcomes are across various subjects. And then we have to basically go and look back at the large volume of storybooks which are available in the market and look at which kind of storybooks matches what kind of reading level and also what kind of learning outcome. For example, in the environmental sciences in grade 2 and 3, there is this whole thing about saving water, right? And then we actually go and look for storybooks which are written around water and saving water and stuff like that. So it's an elaborate process. It takes a bit of a time, but it is a very important process because the stories become then the vehicles for children to learn concepts. And once that happens, the concept is remembered on the back of the power of a story, as opposed to just the concept itself, right? And that is a very, very powerful pedagogic layer which Worldreader adds on top of the books. And the beauty here is that we take books which have been written for normal trade publication and kind of make them powerful vehicles of story-based learning inside the classroom. So slightly a long, tedious process, but a very, very important process which we strive to get right and constantly improve upon. And we've been doing that for the past few years. And it's important primarily because everything rests on the power of the story. So the introduction of the concept and what they learn, the interest of the parents to be able to tell that story or read the story back at home and have various conversations. So it's a very important question we grapple with on a day-to-day basis. We think we have a good methodology and framework to do it, but it's a constant improving journey. And we know that some books perform well. Pradeep talked about data. So we constantly look at the data, who is reading what, how much a book is being read. And then we also use the power of data to kind of see, okay, some of these books, though we felt were good or the experts felt good, doesn't seem to be resonating with the parents. So we need to replace them with some other books. So it's a constant cycle, basically.
Thank you. It looks like there's a question for you and I, Simon, in terms of any future challenges planned. Not at this stage due to COVID, but we're always open to ideas. I think there were talks pre-COVID, of course, doing a challenge down in Sussex, the Seven Sisters and beyond, but very open to ideas, always really keen to support this charity for very obvious reasons. So we'd love to hear. If you've got ideas, please feel free to direct a message to us both, and we'll certainly consider it.
How about climbing Kilimanjaro again, Kate? You up for that?
I'm not sure I want to do it again, but I hear Everest Base Camp's meant to be pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'd just like to say in closing, most of the people you see here from Worldreader are ex-corporate, from the corporate world. And I'm very aware that just about everybody on this call is in the corporate world. And in a sense, you've made that first big step, or not the first perhaps, in terms of the social good. But if anybody wants something, this is a whole different session. If anybody wants any advice from us on how to make that jump, I can only say your skill set in the business world are so needed and effective. Some of the best development people I know have come from the corporate world and have made that jump. So I just put that out there. Reach out to us via the Salesforce team or the crowd team, and very happy to, maybe that's a whole different session. But I'd just say a big thank you on behalf of Worldreader for all of your help and all of your engagement and continued engagement in what we're doing. So thank you.